Hey everybody, welcome to Texas Best. I'm Matthew. Let's jump right into it. Today we're going to be looking at the Democratic primary, how it's starting to shape up. Recently, Colin Allred dropped out, making space for Jasmine Crockett, who threw her hat in the ring this past Monday for the Texas senatorial race, going up against incumbent John Cornyn, who's got his own primary issues going on. I'm probably going to make a video. There's no probably. I'm going to make a video about that another day, but right now I just wanted to focus on the Democratic primary. So, again, who have we got running for office? We have James Talarico, we have Jasmine Crockett, and we've got three other candidates. That's Emily Morgul, Michael Swanson, and Paula Williams. For most of this video, I'm going to focus on Jasmine and James Talarico because, to be honest with you, they're the front runners. Paula seems like she doesn't even exist, like she does. But if you search up Paula Williams, Texas Senate, you get a profile with no profile picture, no information. I looked at Michael Swanson a bit. I like him a lot. Again, unfortunately, most elections come down to being a popularity race, and Swanson is doing a really great job with his advocacy. He's getting out there. He recently just had a meeting with some workers' rights groups up in Bexar County. But again, I just think the focus for this primary is going to be between Crockett and Talarico. And the way that it's being pitched, especially to Texans, is as like a preacher versus fighter kind of mentality. If you know Jasmine Crockett, she's very outspoken, especially against Trump, especially against Republicans. I'm a big fan of that, honestly. Like, we need fighters right now. We don't need preachers, and that should kind of let you know where I'm leaning. Although looking into Talarico, I must say I'm also starting to like him a bit as well. I think we have two good fighters. Whoever comes through, I think they have a real chance at taking on the Texas Senate seat. There's this statistic that blows my mind every time I hear it. Texas Democrat has not won a statewide election since 1994. That is over 30 years of essentially pure Republican control. And yet you'll still hear Texans decrying Democrats. Oh, Democrats are fucking up society. They're letting people go, letting the criminals go. Democrats this, Democrats that. Dude, Texas has been a Republican stronghold, again, for 31 years. 31 years. That's longer than I've been alive. So anytime I hear any Texan bitching about Democratic policies, not on a national level, but on a state level, it goes in one ear and out the other. Like, you don't know what's going on. This is Republicans' fault. Whatever your crisis is, whatever your issue, I must say, man, one party is in absolute control and has been for 3 decades, and if you have problems with it, bring it up with them. So, let's jump right into Crockett. She served 2 years in the Texas House Senate before leaving and becoming elected in 2022 to the U.S. House of Representatives, where she served until she basically announced her bid here. Whereas Talarico was elected to and has been serving in the state house since 2018. All right, let's start with Crockett. I think the biggest holdup for Crockett is her pro-Israel stance. I looked up Track AIPAC to see if she's ever accepted money. To be quite honest with you, essentially every Texas politician has accepted Israeli money in some form or fashion. Actually, I went down a whole separate rabbit hole. I had to look this up. I just started writing the numbers down because the names don't even matter, man. As far as I can tell, there's only one representative in the state of Texas who has officially and proudly announced that he accepts no money from Israeli lobbying groups or AIPAC, correctly citing the genocide going on in Gaza right now. And that would be Greg Casar out of the 35th district in Texas. Everybody else, Republicans, Democrats, they're accepting money left and right. Do you know how much money has gone into Texas politicians' pockets as of October 20th, 2025, like 2 months ago? $10,281,334. $10 million has been pumped into our Texas politicians' pockets just from Israel. That's not even private equity groups. That's not even healthcare lobbyists. That's not even oil and industry, things like that. Just Israeli lobbyists. So the reason I bring that up is because, again, Crockett is a little bit pro-Israel. She's not like madly pro-Israel. She's not a Zionist, to make that very clear. She doesn't think that we should be killing all the Palestinians. But I watched a video of her before Trump was recently elected, and it really rubbed me the wrong way. And so I took down a couple of notes that I think are worth talking about. Right off the bat, she calls the American-Israeli relationship an enduring relationship. And in discussion of Israel, she recognizes that it is the most disputed land in the world. The most disputed land in the world. Like, I know this was about a year ago when she said this, but most disputed land in the world. We have the Koreas, we got China and Taiwan, we have Sudan going on, Kenya and Somalia and Ethiopia. Like, there's a lot more disputed territory going on with arguably worse casualties. Like, in Sudan, you could see the blood from space. It's insane. But again, for her, Israel is the most disputed land in the world. I wonder why. She says it goes beyond the Palestinians and Israelis. And I guess the reason for her stance right here, she says, if the United States throws away our 75+ year relationship with Israel because we don't like their leader, it sets the precedent for all our other allies to throw us away. Again, I know this was before Trump too, but newsflash, a lot of our allies don't really like us. Even less now. If we lose our allies, like Israel, then we're vulnerable over here in the Western Hemisphere. What is America gonna do without Israel? We won't survive. The barbarians are at the doors, right? Somebody call Netanyahu. We need his fucking help, apparently. Ugh. Meanwhile, James Talarico is proudly not accepting any money whatsoever from AIPAC, and he has correctly called out Israel for its genocide it is committing. Like, again, Crocket. I'm a big fan of Crocket. Like I said, I think we need a fighter right now more than we need a preacher. But you gotta drop this Israel bullshit. You gotta drop the Israel bullshit. Because she thinks that we have just a problem with Netanyahu. Oh, just because we don't like the leader, Netanyahu. No, it's not just Netanyahu. It is his entire government that is run by ultranationalist, apartheidist, theocratic authoritarians. It is not just Netanyahu. It is the entire Israeli government. That's not a critique against Judaism. That is a critique against Israel, the nation. And Israel, the nation, is fucking slaughtering people. I don't even like to call it the Gaza war because it's not a war. If it were a war, it's an incredibly one-sided conflict. It's not a war. It is wholesale innocent slaughter. Crocket, you gotta drop the bullshit. You gotta drop the bullshit. Especially if you're running for the Democratic primary when it's under Democratic polls. It is overwhelmingly anti-Israel. Democrats and Democratic voters, most people, to be quite honest with you, are madly against what Israel is doing and fucking hate Israel right now. And again, like, when I look into how much money the nation of Israel has pumped into our politicians' pockets, I'm floored. I'm floored, man. It's like Israel just owns a very big chunk of Texas. They own our politicians. So, I like that Talarico has proudly claimed that he won't be taking a dime from AIPAC. He's not accepting any money for this race. Good. He's got that over Jasmine Crockett. And let's just talk about them really quick as far as their policies go. So, Jasmine Crockett, these are both Democratic politicians, so they share a lot of similarities. This is going to be the same for both of them, to be quite honest with you. Jasmine Crockett is a defender of civil liberties with a career in public defending and being a civil rights attorney. She is an advocate for climate change, energy, and environment legislation. She's pro-middle class. She's pro-expanding affordable health care. She wants to fight for affordability. She wants to fight for the underdog. Same with James Talarico. I think they both literally say that on their websites, fighting for the underdog. The difference is Talarico, again, does not support Israel. And I like his messaging when it comes to this race because he argues that it's not left versus right. It is top versus bottom, which I totally agree with, man. I think it is 100% top versus bottom. Again, it is the rich versus everybody else, and they are warping our reality with the kind of resources they have at their disposal. Again, just from Israel, $10 million. I'm blown away. You want to know something that's really surprising? Take a guess at who has the most money. I thought it would be Ted Cruz, who has nearly $2 million from AIPAC. But it's not Ted Cruz. It's actually Henry Cuellar, the guy who was just recently pardoned by Donald Trump, who has over $2 million in lobbying money from AIPAC. So that's insane. Again, I don't mean to keep ranting about how much all of our politicians are in the pocket of a foreign country, but can't help but bring it up, you know? On top versus bottom, again, I said I agree with Talarico on that. When it comes to his cons, I'm not a very religious person. He is. and a lot of his advocacy finds its roots in his faith. Which, sure enough, man, fine, whatever. At least he's not one of these awful evangelical Christians who bastardize their faith to put down marginalized communities, to promote superiority and supremacy. At least he's not that, and for that I can be vaguely grateful. So the biggest divide in this country is not left versus right, it's top versus bottom. Billionaires want us looking left and right at each other instead of looking up at them. I wholeheartedly agree with him. I'm sick of this oligarchical society we live in where the rich get to buy our news, and they get to buy our movies, and they get to buy our music, and they get to buy our video games. Dude, they get to buy our video games, man. Jared Kushner and Saudi Arabia just bought EA. They're trying to support Paramount to buy Warner Brothers. They basically own Spotify. Like, they want to control every single aspect of your life. And so to people who say, man, I wish politics just didn't interfere with everything, it's Republicans, man. It's Republicans who have divided us by party, by race, by gender, by religion, so we don't notice their defunding of our schools, the gutting of our healthcare, and cutting taxes for themselves and their rich friends. Oldest strategy in the world, divide and conquer. Dude, I'm being won over by Talarico right here, right now. Like, you're watching it happen live. Like, for real. What is up with the defunding of our schools? But at the same time, Greg Abbott wants to use state money for vouchers for private schools, leaving the lower class to flounder while we educate the middle class. Meanwhile, while we're educating the middle class, Greg Abbott is also bringing in Turning Point USA into Texas high schools because college isn't young enough, apparently. No, we need to get them while they're really young. We need to get them while they're in high school. Meanwhile, any leftist organization that does anything like that, God forbid you have a drag queen story hour, they're trying to brainwash our kids. We have a literal state and nationwide supported propagandist machine now being put in all of our schools. Like, they are... I agree with Talarico almost wholeheartedly. But then this is where I kind of get lost, man, because again, I'm not a religious person. I can look past his religiosity. At least he's not authoritarian religious. And he says, my granddad was a Baptist preacher in South Texas. He taught me that we follow a barefoot rabbi who gave us 2 commandments. Love God and love thy neighbor, because there is no love God with love thy neighbor. I don't know, a lot of this mushy bullshit. I would prefer the mushy bullshit over the whole, we gotta enslave and murder people because God told us to. Like, that's definitely the worst of the two. Oh, so that's what the Democratic primary is shaping up to look like. Jasmine Crockett and Talarico. It's up in the air. It's up in the air. Primaries are on March 3rd. I'm going to be filming a video breaking down the Republican primary. There are a bunch of people running in that too. There are also a lot of independents, but I mean, let's be honest, I'm not going to cover the independents, no offense. And when it comes to the Republicans, I know that the 3 front runners for them are Wesley Hunt, Ken Paxton, and John Cornyn, the incumbent. So we'll make sure to cover them. We got a big fight coming out of us. We got a lot of representatives that need to go. I'm going to be real with you. Nearly every representative of all of our 35 districts are corrupt. Just full-blown corrupt, from the Democrats to the Republicans. First of all, most of them are Republicans. This is an incredibly Republican-heavy legislated state. Even though about half of Texas is Democratic, a very small percentage of that representation bleeds through in our representatives. Certainly not in our senators or our governor. But a lot of these politicians need to go. First of all, I think we should take money out of politics in general. Hot take. But, dude, to see some people making... Like John Cornyn, $488,000. Ted Cruz, $1,872,000. Nathaniel Morin for the District 1, $55,000. Dan Crenshaw for District 2, $233,000. Keith Self for District 3, $49,173. Pat Fallon, $80,000. Lance Gooden, $46,000, $133,000, $179,000, $31,000, $890,000, $164,000, $118,000, $122,000, $103,000, $113,000. At a certain point, I stopped writing down the number and just started marking the districts because that was only up to District 15. And again, only one district in all 35, only one representative has openly condemned Israel and said no to AIPAC money. Ho! Crocket, you gotta step away from the Israel bullshit. I'm gonna be real with you. Especially for Democrats, like, you have no support there. You have no support there when it comes to Israel, man. That's all I've got for you today. Please hit that like and subscribe. Like I said, we'll be covering the Republican primary next. And at a certain point, we're going to start sifting through this mess of representatives. Thank you so much. I hope you have an awesome day. Bye-bye.